let's get into some movie reviews.
Sure.
I have we just saw a movie, but I want to talk a little bit about one that I was kind of looking forward to. That was a Netflix
Yeah, go for it.
one. Before I get into it, spoilers, yes, no.
Go for it. Yeah,
Go for it.
someone kind of already told me things that I work
Okay.
with, so.
So Triple Frontier came out last week, I believe, on Netflix, and I remember 4 or 5 episodes ago when the trailer first came out, I said that was I was really looking forward to it because it had a really impressive cast. We had Ben Affleck, we had Oscar Isaac, Charlie Hunnam, Garrett Hedlund. Is it just one of those 4?
Pedro Pascal.
Pedro Pascal, yes. I'll start this off by what do you think the movie was about?
So, okay.
From what you remember from the trailer,
From what I remember from the trailer, I feel like the trailer tried to give off a vibe that it's based on a true story, but knowing what the story is, kind of, that it's, these ex-military people, they come back from the war, they're veterans, they come back from the war and they have nothing to show for it, kind of thing. They don't have, and they're down on their luck, kind of thing. They all have various stages of family life, but they're upset. They're not too happy that they're not making any money and stuff.
And
so
then they come across an opportunity.
Yes.
They get said money.
Yeah. They're like, hey, let's do this thing. I know a get rich quick scheme. It's pretty dangerous though. Let's rip off the cartel.
Yeah.
Like that can't have happened in the real world.
That is so that was what we got from the trailer. That was the premise. Down to luck, ex-military men who are like, hey, we have a way to get money. We're gonna rob this guy, and ones to assume gun battle, guns ablazing.
Mm-hmm. Well, no, I wasn't assuming that.
That's what I assumed because that trailer was literally the entire first third of the movie.
Really?
Because spoilers for Triple Frontier fans out there. So it is like.
Hold on, I just want to say my thoughts. Like if that were to actually happen, like if these people were like, let's assault the cartel and rip them off, they would be dead.
Yes,
like there's no way
yes.
like they would survive. They wouldn't survive to begin with. Even if they got away a little bit, the cartel would find them somewhere in the world, murder them. So that's like, or like even if it was based on a true story, like if these people weren't killed during the events of the film, the cartel would be like, oh, that's who that's who ripped us off. Let's go kill it. It'd be like a death warrant for these people. But anyway, go on.
Okay, so that's what I got. Like I got from the trailer that the whole premise
was going to be like an action
was to steal this money.
Yeah.
Right.
No.
It is. That's the entire first third.
Okay.
So this movie is very the theme of this movie and the end is very anti-greed. So let me know. I'll run through parts of the movie for. So it is. You got Oscar Isaac. It starts with him. He's still working some sort of military job in South America.
Okay.
And he's after this cartel. Like he gets information of this cartel leader, whatever, and that this guy apparently has a shit ton of money.
Mm.
So he goes back home and recruits 4 of his friends that were part of that are all kind of various down and luck situations. The worst being Ben Affleck's character. He was a condo salesman and he just can't sell a condo. His life depended on it.
Okay.
And the cliche, he's divorced, kid doesn't like him, yada yada yada. So he comes, gets them all, and he recruits them all to do this job. And he needs Ben Affleck's character because he's really good at planning things out time wise. Because they scope out the guy's schedule, and he knows how long. Oh, this guy leaves town every Monday for 15 minutes. He's really good at figuring out when's the best time to do this. Because
strategizing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because they want to do this with only killing one person. That is the leader of the cartel who owns all this money.
Okay.
So he recruits them. They all sign on board. They get the guns on. Put the guns on. They're ready to go.
And so Oscar Isaac is he is still working for the military. None of the other ones are working.
No, and what he's working for isn't really Like I think it's more of
it's more of like a contract.
Yes, that's exactly
like
the word.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because
like
there's talks of like, because when he has his plan, he's like, I can do this, but like, whoever I work for gets like X amount of what we get,
like what we sure.
Right?
And that's so they do have some sort of backing.
Yes.
Like it's not military backing, but they have.
They all worked in the military before. The only one that still does that ended up getting related is Oscar Isaac's character. Ben Affleck's on condos. Charlie Hunnam is just he's goes to like these meetings and like talks about like PTSD and whatnot. Garrett Hedlund's character is a boxer. You're kind of only briefly shown that. And Pedro Pascal's character, you don't really know what he's been up to. He's just like the fifth character.
Okay.
Right? He's the pilot of the group.
Oh, okay.
That's why they need him.
And so the idea is we'll get the money.
So they go in. They're like,
we'll live our lives happily. We'll get rich.
Because he believes that the five of them are better than anyone he can work with. That they can get in, and that when they do this job, they're allowed to keep X amount, and that and then they can all go home and have money.
Terrible.
Because the game plan was like to go in, kill the one guy who like runs the whole show,
right?
Take his money, leave without being seen. So they do that.
Oh, they do. Okay.
Yeah, the five of them get in. They strategize. They're like, okay, we're gonna do this at this time because there's no one else in the house. They go in there. They kill the. So they go in there. They find some of the money because first they think they don't find the money, but then they see that there's like fresh paint in the room that they're in, and they're like, oh, let's tear down the wall, and they see that the money's in the wall. So then, basically the movie's a very anti-greed thing because the rest of this movie is based on one mistake Ben Affleck's character makes. He gets too greedy.
Oh.
Because they tear down one wall, then he checks out another wall, and there's more money. So he's the guy that like timed everything.
Yeah.
When he starts grabbing more money than he's supposed to, because they're supposed to be like, we want X amount, get out of there as fast as we can.
Yeah.
But then when he sees that there's more money, he starts to tell them, we have more time, when they don't really.
Okay.
Right? So they get in, they start grabbing the money, they leave with it, they kill the guy, but they also, I believe, kill a couple more people because they said they run out of time, so people start coming back home. That's the first third of the movie. The rest of it is basically consequences from Ben Affleck's character getting too greedy.
Okay.
Because they leave, they get out of there fine. I mean, I think Charlie Hunnam's character was shot, but it's nothing life-threatening. So what happens now is they got a plane or a helicopter of some sort. They have too much money, which is too much weight.
Okay.
For the helicopter, but they're like, screw it, we're gonna do it anyway. Their escape plan is going over a mountain. They can't because there's too much weight on the plane. So before I continue, I'll let you know that they left with $250 million.
Okay.
Okay. They crashed their helicopter because they pushed their luck trying to get it over the mountains. So it crashed into a village, which is everyone lives. But when they're in this village, it gets pretty hostile, and Ben Affleck kills a couple out of the blue. Like, you're getting too close to me, bang, 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 just killed like 3 of you. So then they have to pay their way out of that village. So they give the villagers some money. There's a little foreshadowing. There's a teenager that wants to go through. He's kind of checking out one of the guys, and so then the rest of the movie is them like literally walking to where they have to go because they have no way of transportation with like hundreds of bags full of money, and then they get so far and they're like, we're not gonna make it to the end point in time, so we have to leave behind a whole whack of money.
Okay.
So then. So basically, then like the big twist or whatever is they're camping out and they need fire, so they start burning some of the money.
Okay.
And then the next morning, they start getting shot at. And then you find out the kid, the teenager, was staring him down. He was staring down Ben Affleck because he killed, must have been Buddy's father or something like that.
Yeah.
So the big twist is, as the shooting, Ben Affleck thinks he's in the clear. He looks up and Buddy's there with the gun. Shoots Ben Affleck right in the head. So now now the rest of the four of them have to carry whatever they have left of money. Plus they don't want to bring Ben Affleck's body, so they can like properly bury him and whatnot. One weird thing, like it shows how much greed is on these guys. They get pretty close to the end. They have to go through this village, and they went from only wanting to kill that one guy at the very beginning to willing to go in this village and gun down everyone to make sure they leave with all the money.
Yeah.
But then at that point, they're like, we can't get through with all this money. They're gonna know. So they just fill their book bags up with what they got. They leave everything else behind. Basically, the movie ends. They get away. There's like a little chase at the end, but the four of them get out with $5 million of the 250 that they started with. And they don't keep it. They give it all to Ben Affleck's family. Yeah, and then like you're talking about how like in real life they couldn't do this because they die or like they would.
Yeah.
They do talk about that a little bit because they talk about before they do the first gig, Ben Affleck's giving like a little speech about if you guys don't want to do this, back out now. You'll have our respect because they're like we basically can't go home after this. So like the four of them at the end go their own separate ways.
Really?
And like it ends with a Charlie Hunnam's character giving Oscar Isaac's character I guess he wrote down the coordinates of where they dumped a lot of the money.
Okay.
So he knows where it is, but that's what it was. It was okay. Like I went in really just wanted a solid action flick, but I got a very character driven, slow burn 2/3. Because not like a lot of action happens in the last 2/3 of the movie outside of like a chase scene at the end. But like it was just a very it was like I said, it was very anti-greed. It's like just shows like what they would do just to keep the money. And then as the movie goes on, they're like, yeah, we need to live more than we need this money. Character-wise, I don't think like even Ben Affleck's character, like who I feel is the most developed character because he's the only one really a true backstory. Like he has the family, the daughter at home. He's ex-divorced. He needs the money the most. Like he dies, I'm like, yeah, okay.
I heard that. I read something that like this was like Ben Affleck's best performance in like a while.
Really? Cause I felt like he like half-assed it.
Oh yeah, okay.
Like you watch it and you watch it and you kind of like he has that like mopey vibe that he has in real life sometimes. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I guess
like that picture like that's out there with him like smoking a cigarette and he's just done with life. That's the vibe he has in this movie.
But that kind of seems like the character he's playing.
Yeah, but like
it's just imitating life.
Yeah. But like I don't know, just
or life imitating art. I don't know at this point.
I think Oscar Isaac had the best performance just because he was like really the main one of the five.
No, I forget which website it was on, but the headline was Triple Frontier is Ben Affleck's best performance.
I guess
whatever.
He was the one that made the call to have his character die. Yes, the director or the writer said that was his choice because I guess they wanted just to kill off one of the fourth ones, and they're like one of the non-significant fourth member. I was like, yeah, that's Garrett Hedlund's character because he had like the least. Like, he had the pilot, Charlie Hunnam's character. There was a little to it, but
why do I feel like the trailer says it's based on a true story? Does it say that?
I haven't seen the trailer since the first time there.
It can't be.
No, I highly doubt it.
Yeah, if the cartel didn't know about it then, they know about it now, and those guys would be dead.
Yeah.
The people that survived would be dead.
See, Justin Washington, we've been nitpicking it ever since, making fun of, especially the fact where they only want to kill one person, and then they're like at the end, we're just gonna gun down this entire village to make sure we get to the end point. So
yeah.
So if I give it a rating, like if I'm doing 10 out of 10 rating. 7 probably the highest. Like,
okay. Yeah, because you wanted an action, like you were
like,
thinking, oh, it's gonna be an action movie.
So maybe that was just my downfall at the beginning, was going on to watch this like guns a-blazing movie, and
I don't know, based on the trailer, I probably would have expected a little more action to it, but I
would you expect it to be all of it just them walking around with the money for?
No, not really. I thought maybe they like got home and there was probably tensions there, and maybe I don't know.
And it was even building up, like even Justin brought it up when he was talking about even like there's some tension between Oscar Isaac and Ben Affleck's character that like eventually maybe something was going to happen with them, but nothing comes to it, and because there's like a scene where so in this movie Oscar Isaac has like how he finds out about like this cartel leader. He has like an informant or whatever, and like before. So they like make sure when they steal this money that she comes with them, because obviously they're gonna know she was behind them getting in and whatnot. And Ben Affleck's like before they like leave her behind because they bring her ex so far, and they're like, "Okay, you leave now," kind of thing. He looks at her and he's like, "Okay, what's my name?" And she's like, "I don't know." He goes, "Okay, what's Oscar Isaac's character's name?" And she's like, "I don't know." And he doesn't believe her because it's like insinuated that like he doesn't trust Oscar Isaac and whatnot, but nothing really comes from it. So, 7 out of 10, good character-driven movie, I guess. I mean, if the internet thinks that was Ben Affleck's best performance in a long time.
Yeah, that was just like one headline I saw.
I get it where it's like, oh, well, obviously his character is like, I wouldn't be a happy camper either if I was in his shoes, but just, I don't know,
you don't think it was as like inspired as whoever wrote that article is? Like you're just like, oh, that's just him.
That's just him.
That's
like
him currently in life.
Him right before he had to go to rehab or something like that. Before we get into the movie we saw, is there any other movie you've seen that you want to talk about?
I think just that one.
Just that one
we both watched.
We just watched it today.
Oh, well, no, we also watched Jordan Peele's directorial debut.
Oh, do we want to talk about that one as well? Why not?
A little bit, I mean, like we both, it's a movie that's been widely acclaimed that we've only now just got around to because we wanted to see it before his second effort.
Okay, so at different times and different places, we both watched Get Out.
Yes, very specifically. I was not going to watch this movie with him because he's a little scaredy pants. But
so, let's get into Jordan Peele a little bit before we.
Sure, yeah, we can definitely talk about it.
What a different thing you think you're getting out of a guy who is a Mad TV skit show guy.
Yeah.
Never would have suspected him, like, like people always doubt, like, there's a whole lot of people that go into the directing route, but like, sometimes you get what you get, sometimes you get big surprises.
Yeah, I think he's definitely fits that
surprise he is category. A surprise.
Well, I read like an interesting thing, interview with him about directing these horror movies, is that he finds it similar to comedy. It's all about timing.
Okay.
It's all about timing and how you pace it, and I could see that. The best horror movies or comedies comes down to timing. It's how you pace things out and the beats that you take. So it kind of makes sense in a way.
It definitely does, and he does it very well. So before we get into this review, I'll be like, I made it to you already. Like, it came out in 2017. I didn't see it for X amount of time.
Yeah. A
lot longer than I would like to. So I looked into the movie.
Okay.
Via like plot summaries and stuff like that.
Okay. See, I never did.
So I kind of knew what the end of the movie was getting into. There was just one little thing that I didn't know, but then like as it was like happening, I was like, this twist is here. So like all our reviews, it's gonna be spoilers. We'll throw in a spoiler warning for us. Get Out.
And I guess kind of before we get in to Get Out too is just talking more about Jordan Peele, and even kind of Key and Peele really. Did you watch watch Fargo, the series?
No.
Fargo? Okay, because they're in the first season.
Oh, really?
Fargo. Yeah, both of them.
Yeah.
And they play these detectives, or I think they're not like cops. Like I think they might be FBI agents. I don't know. Like they're part of law enforcement.
Yeah.
And yeah, just different. Yeah, it's they're definitely the comic relief in some of the scenes that they're in, but like the finale of
Fargo.
Yeah, like of the first season that they're in. Yeah, like it's gets intense. Like the stuff that they do in that.
I was just waiting for Keegan Michael Key cameo and Get Out.
Yeah.
But now that you say that, like he's going for the horror element. If you brought him in,
yeah,
he's like the implied comedic relief.
Yeah.
So so because usually they go hand in hand together. The two guys they have been for years.
Yeah. So. Yeah, like they're a duo. Like you know, they'll still always like Toy Story 4. They're in that, right? So like yeah. So but going back to like I just kind of brought up Fargo because like that is I think kind of where he might have steps out. Because like there's still like comic relief for the most part until like their last bit in that first season is like when it really turns around.
It's different actors every season because it goes back.
It's an anthology. Like the first season, I forget when it came out, but it took place in 2005.
Yeah.
Because and it follows the movie. So the movie came out like 98 or 97 or something like that, and it took place like in that year.
Okay.
And then there are, references throughout the first season to the movie. A lot of like characters are, fit into this like archetype.
Okay.
And there are series of events that, happen because of what happened in the movie. And then the second season takes place in like the 70s. And then the third is like more current, so it kind of jumps all around. But like it is all the same universe. Like it's not. Yeah. But it is a
like an anthology.
Yeah, like
American Horror Story type.
It is, but.
Well, no, like American Horror Story is different actors or same actors playing different people. But it's more anthem. But that's what I meant, like anthology. Yeah,
like it tells like it's all connected in a way. Like it all follows. Like it's especially 1 and 2. Like, what the main character's father in the first season, he's like the main character in the second season, Patrick Wilson.
Okay.
He plays, it's David Carradine? David Carradine plays like the older version of, in season 1, he's, this retired cop, and the main character is his daughter, and then in season 2, it's Patrick Wilson playing that character, and he like he talks about this like specific crazy event thing that he witnessed, in the past as a cop. Yeah. And then you see it in the second season.
That's cool.
Oh, it's great. Anyway, they're in the it's just totally off topic. They're in the first season, and like not even like they're not like main characters. They're just supporting characters.
Are they in like every episode?
No, they're not.
There.
They come in and out, and then the way that they,
So this is the first time we've seen them like outside of
comedy. Again, they're mostly there for comedic relief until like
the last.
It might not even be like the last episode, but like kind of, there's
near the end.
Yeah, near the end they do different stuff with them, and then so Get Out. So
it gets announced that Jordan Peele's directing the movie Get Out, or trailer comes out, and everyone's like, "Huh, that's not what you expected from Jordan Peele." And then reviews come out, and it's like, "Huh, that's not what you expect from a Jordan Peele." Basically, like he's like 5 out of 5. You're expecting like some. Almost like a cheesy comedy coming from the guy. I think it's like So yeah, no, give me your thoughts on
Yeah, I really like Get Out.
It was a very, very good movie, even for someone who like knew a lot into it. Just,
Okay.
I still thoroughly enjoyed it.
I managed to not read much about it. Like I saw the trailer, I watched the trailer a couple times, and heard nothing but good things about it. But like I went in pretty much blind, really, and you kind of know where you kind of get the gist of it, and you go in thinking one thing, and then some other things happen, and you're like, okay, but that's happening, and there's more to it than you think. So yeah, good stuff.
So the one thing I didn't know, but I saw it. I was like, okay. Was the fact that the daughter was
in on it? Yeah.
Just because I was like, okay, I already knew going in reading stuff this is what the family does or whatever. And I was like, oh, he's constantly asking for the keys, and I was like, she's gonna eventually just be like, yeah, no, I'm part of this. You don't get your keys. You're not leaving anytime soon.
Yeah. So. Right about so Jenna and I watched it, and about the girlfriend. We were watching it, and I think so. There's you go in seeing the trailer. You think, oh, okay, this is just this family is clearly racist, or you think it's just all about race, and that it's they're.
And then the movie,
they want to kill black.
And when you're watching it, it's like, okay, so it's like a slavery type thing.
Yeah, something more is going on. It's not just
all the servants are black, and they're
and the movie starts off with a black man getting abducted.
Yeah.
By an assailant, a masked assailant, and you're thinking, okay, you don't necessarily know he's being abducted, okay, maybe he's killing him there,
yeah.
He's just taking the body away perhaps, but you think that you're kind of thinking this one thing, and from the trailer you're thinking, okay, this family just doesn't like black people kind of thing, and that's what you're getting into. But then when it gets to the point where you see all the workers are black, and there's black people at at this party that they're
all acting insanely strange,
super weird. And then you have the bingo scene.
Yeah,
the bingo scene's when I realized the girlfriend was in on it, because I was just like, okay, because up until then I wasn't entirely sure that the family was even actually bad, evil, downright evil. I wasn't sure, because that's props to the actors. I think Bradley Whitford and Catherine Keener playing the parents. They have a lot of comedic acting chops as well, and it just seems like, oh, they're quirky and they're kind of weird. But up until where you see them, they're auctioning off.
Yeah, where the girls going to play bingo or.
Yeah, and then when the girlfriend it's like, oh, let's go for a walk, and when you realize, okay, no, her parents are auctioning him off, there's no way she's not
can't do that when he's around, so.
Yeah, and there's no way she's not aware that these things have been happening.
Yeah.
Her parents have done these kind of things, and that's when, getting to the point where, they just Chris, the main character, he's like, okay, we gotta leave, kind of thing. Let's go, right now. And then she's like, oh, I gotta go get my keys. Jenna's like, no, don't split up. Don't. I'm like, Jenna, she's in on it.
Oh, okay.
I clued in right then, and then that's what he clues in too. He goes to the closet and sees all the pictures of all the other.
Why do people do that? Why, that's the one thing I give, just because it's been done many times. Why keep a trophy evidence of what you're doing?
Yeah.
So of every single person they've abducted and whatnot. So they abduct these black people to basically
steal their bodies.
Transfer their consciousness or whatever freaky voodoo stuff they do.
Which was, that part I really didn't see coming. Like, did you know this too?
That's what I came across. Like, I was like, oh.
Okay.
Like, oh, they...
I kind of just, like, at some point you do realize, okay, these people are being abducted and they're just,
And it was very ironic, the guy that bought Chris had nothing to do with, because it was like the whole premise was like, why black people? And they're like, oh, they're like the...
New.
Yeah, like that.
Different. They're different.
And that's why they wanted to, but then the guy who buys Chris is like, oh, I just want your eyes.
Yeah.
He's like, I don't give a damn about what you look like.
Because he tried, like, he submitted pictures to National Geographic. And he was denied or whatever, and he's like, well, you're a good photographer. That's all I care about.
Yeah.
It has nothing to do with race. So that's interesting little twist on it. I didn't see that. Like, up until then, you're thinking, okay, these people, because the mother's a therapist, a hypnotherapist, and she can, obviously control people in some way. So I was just thinking, okay, these people are just being brainwashed.
Like
no, and then there's the twist on top of that is, no, they're literally putting these people inside of, black people's bodies.
Yeah.
And then you get, the groundskeeper is the grandfather, and the housekeeper is the grandmother. Just a really interesting take on, obviously it's a statement on, slavery and, how, but at the core of it, like, these people wanting to have power over black people, but also being, like, envious of them.
Yeah.
It to a some like, I'm above you, but I also kind of wish I was, like...
Yeah, because there's, like, all these, like, white people walking up to Chris and, like, being jealous of, like, different aspects of...
Yeah.
And, like, because, like, one guy's like, oh, show me your swing, because Tiger Woods is a great golfer.
Yeah.
Whatnot. And like, so people touching his muscles and all that, and be like, oh, look at that.
I'll say... Okay.
No, I just want to say, it took me forever. So I was watching the movie and I'm like, the brother. I was like, who the hell is the brother?
Yeah, who is that?
It's Banshee from First Class.
Oh, was it? Okay.
Yeah.
I thought he did a really... He had a very... did you see 12 Monkeys?
No.
Okay. That's like a really good Brad Pitt performance. Like, if you want to see an early, like, off the walls Brad Pitt. Like, I think he literally was channeling Brad Pitt in 12 Monkeys. One of the best performances Brad Pitt has ever done is in 12 Monkeys. Bruce Willis too. That movie's great. You should go watch that. It's one of my favorites. But the brother, what he was doing, like the guy playing the brother, really screams Brad Pitt from 12 Monkeys. So go watch 12 Monkeys. No,
I got a kick out of Chris's friend Rod.
Yeah.
Because there's like this, because he was like the aware, like these movies. The movie was aware of almost like what it was doing.
Mm-hmm.
Because like he called it. He was like, "Oh, don't fucking go in the house. Don't do this. Don't do that. This is what they're doing." He basically got spot on. Like he, besides the sex slave thing that he assumed that there was, but.
There's probably some of that though, like these people auctioning off.
Because there was like the white woman with the black guy, and it's like. There's he basically saying it says why she's with him and whatnot.
Yeah.
It was just fun. I read there was because the ending. So let's go a little bit to they're getting ready for
they're
Prince is hypnotized. That once the mother basically little taps her little teacup with a spoon, he like goes in like a comatose state.
Yeah, the sunken place.
Yes.
Yeah.
And like, which is very creepy because like he was gonna stay in there if this all happened.
That's terrifying.
That is terrifying.
Yeah, the thing.
And like it was even more terrifying like when they close like his eyes or whatever, and then like he's just in the sunken place, but then because like she like when she first hypnotizes him, she like closes his eyes, so then he goes in complete darkness, so which would be 10 times more terrifying.
Yeah, I think we like again props to like Jordan Peele and like this vision and that like the creative ways he could induce fear into people.
Yeah.
Like it's so like.
It's this great way of doing horror movies nowadays where we're beyond the blood phase.
We're definitely in a renaissance, I think, of horror movies, like where they're kind of going back to like the basics in a way of like less is more.
Yeah.
We don't need gore. Like, we don't need saw
from
and
like
people losing
late
legs
'90s to early to 2010. It was just what's the bloodiest way we can kill someone.
Yeah.
And that just brings you out of the movie because you're like, you're like, oh, well, that doesn't make sense. Yeah. But this way, it's like, oh, it's like,
just
less is more. Scares you more.
Yeah, and getting in your head, and like especially this one where it is all like psychological. Like people can get hypnotized. Like people can do that to other people to some degree. Obviously, they can't transfer people's consciousness.
But you just don't know.
Like the fear of the unknown.
Like he got hypnotized the first time, and all he knew was like basically he was done with cigarettes because he was a smoker in the movie, and she hypnotized him and now he doesn't want to smoke anymore. But he said like he doesn't remember a single thing. So it's just crazy. So like we get to the end where he gets purchased and they're like preparing him for this transfer or whatever, and he's very smart guy. He realizes there's if he doesn't hear it, he doesn't get hypnotized.
Mm-hmm.
So takes some stuffing out of the chair that he's like strapped to, and
Which, another great thing too is like all these like illusion, like there's sometimes where things are so obvious, like foreshadowing in movies where it's so like on the nose and like, oh, that's gonna come into play, but like him scratching at the chair, like when he's first hypnotized, he starts scratching at the chair, and you get the flashbacks of him when he's thinking about his mother or whatever, and he's scratching, and then that was just another little like awesome, like he starts scratching at the cushioned chair, and he sees like, oh yeah, like there's something here. I can definitely do something with this. So just a brilliant use of like, not like it wasn't beating you over the head with like, oh, this scratching thing's gonna come back in play, because even when he does it, then we all kind of know, but it's not
just like
it's not like
just like a thing someone does, like filming their fingers or like
exactly. It's like and we think, okay, he's working at something, but it's not so beaten over your head where it's like, oh, he's like, of course that's what's happening kind of thing. Like you just think you think not a lot of it, but you also realize, okay, that's coming into play from before kind of thing. I don't know. It's just brilliant in my opinion.
And then we get he kicks some pretty good ass on get his way out of the house. So like he's puts stuffing in his ear so he doesn't hear, because he's looking at TV that's like with the teacup and whatnot.
He fakes being hypnotized to the brother who's there to collect him.
So like one of the questions is, why did they have a random bucket full of like these like whatever, like, I don't know what kind of balls they were, but like the ones he like attacks the brother with. I'm just wondering why in that room is there a bucket full of these
heavy objects.
Yeah.
That's never happened before. They just
they're probably
all these decorations, right? And,
sure, because the next decoration he looks at is the deer head. Which is probably like one of the best moments of, because you see him look at the deer head, but you're just kind of like, because it's like insinuated that's like the logo or some sort of whatever ideology they follow, the coagula or whatever. And he just looks at it.
Yeah.
And then you see the father who's waiting to do this like transfer thing come out and he's getting impaled by some antlers.
Yeah. Because he attacks the brother. He hits the brother with the giant weighted ball thing, drops that, and I'm like, don't, like, keep that. That's a good weapon. Yeah. And then he attacks the father with the antlers, drops that. Jonah's like, don't do that. Like, keep that. And I'm like, seriously, like, what is he doing? Like, why is he not taking anything?
And so, like, through the movie, before we get to like close at the end, like, you got his friend who works with TSA. He knows friend's missing, whatnot.
And
then like he calls and like the girlfriend answers and like tries to.
Well, and before that though, the scene where he goes to the police station.
Oh, they don't take him seriously whatsoever.
Oh, that was amazing.
Yeah.
I was like grinning the entire time and just laughing. Like that, whoever played like that female detective, just like perfect acting, her reaction to like everything, and like she's acting as if she's taking it kind of seriously, but like.
And then,
she's
and then she looks at the other cops like, "Don't say you never done anything to you guys."
Yeah, that was one of the highlights. So like, yeah, he's able to fuse two genres really.
It's like an ongoing joke of the movie that like here's TSA and they know what they're doing or whatever.
Yeah.
And no one messes with TSA and whatnot, and then what was else? There was something else I was trying to.
Yeah, so the girlfriend, like he gets in. Like Rod calls the girlfriend,
and then she's all like, "Oh no, we can." Almost tries like feels like she's trying to like set him up, he's a victim kind of thing.
Yeah.
But obviously, he doesn't fall for it. He hangs up right away, and so we get to the. What I wanted to talk about was like during the movie that happens once where the flash goes off because he's a photographer.
At the party, yeah.
And he meets one of these brainwashed black guys, and he's acting strange like always, and then Buddy wants to videotape it or whatever, or take a picture of the guy and send it to his friend Rod. But the flash goes off, and then his nose starts bleeding, and then I'm to assume like the original black guy gets his like same mentality back for a quick couple minutes.
Yeah, it kind of brings that, because they say too that when their consciousness is transferred into the other person's body, they're still there. They still exist.
Yeah, they're just in that.
They're in that comatose, sunken place. They can see everything, and there's a moment with the housekeeper where she's crying, like Georgina.
Yeah.
She's crying. She's trying to come out, but she can't. She's frozen in the body, right? And then it's the grandmother talking. But she's, witnessing and trying to break free, but she can't. She's in a sunken place. So.
And then he meets who ends up being the guy who gets kidnapped at the beginning of the movie.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
He name drops the title of the movie. He says, "Screaming, get out!" at Chris.
Doesn't necessarily listen. Yeah.
And then goes back in the room with the mother and comes back. "Oh, sorry about that."
They're all right. Yeah.
Yeah. I just had a seizure.
Yeah.
Well, I was thinking stroke. I don't know. Anyways, so when we get to the end where he's kicking ass trying to get out, fights the brother again, and then drives away, hits Georgina with the car, and then the good side of him is like, hey, I gotta save her too, but that backfires pretty quickly when she comes up. So she gets by the car and she's unconscious. She's in the car, regains her consciousness and tries to attack him, which results in them crashing the car.
One of the great things too is like it's revealed that they have to the father he's a neurosurgeon and they have to cut into the actual skull and go into the brain and actually alter things in order to transfer the consciousness or whatever. So you got the groundskeeper. He's always wearing a hat, right? And Georgina, you see her fixing her wig a couple times throughout the movie, and then you notice that, okay, she, the reason why she has the wig is to cover up the scar on her head, right? And because, it's the grandmother inside of Georgina's body, and the groundskeeper, he's wearing the hat all the time because it's the grandfather stuck in his body. And you have the moment where the groundskeeper, one of the earlier moments, just the creep, even in the trailer, it's one of the creepier moments in the movie.
He's just
running towards and running through the field, and that's one of the first clues that it's the grandfather, because the grandfather was an Olympic runner.
I didn't even think about it until you said that right now.
Yeah, exactly. So he lost to a black man, and that's why he.
And then the father says he's not over it yet, or something like that.
Yeah.
It says something like he's almost over it or something like that.
Yeah. So that's one of the first clues that that's the grandfather. He's running because now he's in a black man's body, and he has more and he comes up to him the next day. Oh, I'm sorry for scaring you last night. I was just practicing or just doing my workout.
Yeah.
And so you see the scars, and that's all like so it's all coming full circle. It's all just
which is another great thing that that you can do.
Yeah.
Is when you want to rewatch a movie where the clues are like were there and you're like, oh, that's great. That like
all makes sense now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then we get to meet the grandfather again because the daughter, who is first not aware of what's going on, that Chris is kicking ass because she's in her room scouting out another
future targets,
eating cereal in a very odd way.
Mm-hmm.
But don't trust someone who eats cereal dry and takes a drink of milk.
Yeah.
And so he gets attacked by the grandfather again with the daughter. She has a gun on, and he, smart guy Chris is.
Yeah, well, one thing too here was he gets out of the car, it starts running straight down the road instead of just running into the woods.
Yeah.
Like, it's one of those moments, like, she has a clear shot to you. Why are you running straight down the road when you could get off, like, run into the woods and lose her immediately?
Yeah.
But yeah.
And because I wanted to mention the fact that the consciousness comes back when he takes a picture of them in flash, because he takes a picture of the grandfather, which clearly brings the original victim back to his original content state, because he's like, oh, hey, daughter, granddaughter, let me kill him for you, and he just turns around and shoots. Which I thought was like, I wouldn't think Chris would have the guts to kill his girlfriend there, regardless of what.
Yeah.
Because she seems to have like a lot of control over him, like, you know. Yeah. Every time he talks about something negative, she's like, "Oh, here's a joke," and then like they just move on, basically.
Even going back to the whole key part where she's like, "Oh, let me get the keys." Like, he knows that she's in on it at this point, but he keeps asking her for the keys,
hoping that like she's like ready to go.
He saw the pictures of all these people that they've.
So he's just hoping that like eventually that she's gonna be like, "Okay, get the keys, let's go."
Yeah. So. Yeah, you're totally right. Like, he wouldn't have been able to do it.
No. So what I want to talk about is like what I guess there is an alternate ending.
Oh yeah.
To get out. I don't know if it was shot or if it was just written. Okay. I didn't.
Well, here's what. Before you get into that, because I never heard anything about this, but I was really scared there was going to be a really sad ending.
Yes, okay. That is what the alternate ending is.
I was thinking cops were going to show up.
Because there he is strangling his girlfriend when she's bleeding out, just to finish the job, basically.
Okay. And the
cop sirens come
in the start of the movie with the bald cop. I thought he was gonna open fire.
Thank God it's his friend Rod.
Oh,
because he's as I'll quote Rod, he's TS motherfucking A.
Yeah, that was a little. I even said it to Jenna, like when he's strangling her.
You can even see in his eyes, man. Like he's like strangling, like even the sirens are off. He's like, I'm fucking screwed.
Yeah, and he puts his hands up. I'm like, oh my god. Like I said to Jenna, I was like, well, when he started strangling her, and before the sirens came up, I was like, oh, this is like the cops are going to show up while he's doing this, and just see this bloodbath.
Yeah, and
just kill him. It would almost. Like, it would almost fit, like, it really kind of would. But it would almost be like, it would fit, like, in the same way that, like, The Mist, the ending to The Mist fit. Like, it's just that gut punch. Like, oh, wow, this is the real world. Yeah. Like, this is, like, now I feel terrible. Like that, you'd be in that sunken place, like, of just, like, oh, no. Like, all this stuff, like, he's got through all this stuff, and he's persevered. And
now he's going to get shot or sent to jail for the rest of his life.
Yeah, and
if it was the racist cop, he probably would have been shot. They went with the more positive ending.
Yeah,
which was his friend Rod showing up and get Chris in the car and invite get right like, told you so.
Yeah,
like I told you exactly what was gonna happen, and
that's funny.
Super stuff. No, that was a very good movie.
Really good.
Especially, like, knowing a lot that I did going into it and still, like, being very impressed with it is just so good it is. Because, like, if you know, if you know a twist is coming and, like, even if you just know a twist is coming, it can ruin the movie for you because that you're waiting for it kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, like I said, pretty much just knew the trailer. Like I didn't know it was gonna go into this whole body swap thing. I had none of that. So yeah, I was really impressed.
So kudos to Jordan Peele's directorial debut.
Yeah.
Blew everyone away.
Let's talk about his second.
Let's talk.
Yeah.
Before we go to the second, I just want to say like he already has that name power.
Yeah, definitely.
Like there's a lot of directors out there where it's like you gotta wait like X amount of movies in before they go, oh hey, the next whatever.
They're gonna start,
like his name is gonna be
trailers.
He's gonna be the new James Wan. Or like even if he's not, like if he's feel like he's a good, or like it's just like if he just produces it, it's gonna be Jordan Peele film.
Yeah, I think with what he's doing, like because now he has the keys to the Twilight Zone, right?
Yeah.
And I think that's gonna be, a big thing for him where it's like because obviously he's not gonna be doing every single episode.
Yeah.
Like I don't even know, is he directing?
I think he's just hosting it, right? I don't.
Okay. Well, he's.
I know he's like there's probably more to it. I don't think he's directed anything for it.
Okay.
But I know he has his hands, so like it's his project.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I think it will be kind of like that, where they'll just get him. They'll literally get him just on board as a producer, so they could put
Jordan Peele
produced by Jordan Peele.
So,
like they'll,
I watched the little review of this movie, his second movie that we're gonna talk about in a second, and saying like he's like the new M. Night Shyamalan, like during his early career, where it was like
heyday.
So like, whereas like he just had to have his name on the project
from the mind of
so
from the people behind
So
that's what they're gonna do.
So no, it's just very impressive that after one movie, he has that power. Like he, like I talked about before in other episodes about how like I love the fact that you just need to put Christopher Nolan's name on something and people will see it.
Yeah.
Like this movie. His second movie is gonna be the #1 movie this weekend, and like, it's just another Jordan Peele movie.
Yeah.
It wasn't like it starred some slightly famous people, but like the name was, this is Jordan Peele's next movie.